Hey everyone, James Azar here with CyberHub Engage. We were supposed to be live we told you yesterday we weren't going to be live, and we're sorry for posting today's daily cyber briefing a little bit late, but we had to travel to Dallas because we're going to be broadcasting live tonight from Armor's facility in beautiful Richardson, Texas. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, come by to our live podcast. Tickets are free. You can get them now on Eventbrite or on our website at cyberhubengage.com. Today is Tuesday, February 4th, 2020, and here are our headlines for today's daily cyber briefing. DoppelPaymer Ransomware Gang Threatens to dump victims' data. A Nintendo criminal hacker pleads guilty. DoD to require cybersecurity certifications from defense contractors. And a Ukrainian team takes down an ISP with a DDoS attack. And now for your daily cyber briefing, brought to you by our friends at GetSmartEye. Go to GetSmartEyeTech.com for more information on the first of its kind security biometric app that is going to keep your screens and your pictures and documents secure from wandering eyes. Again, go to SmartEyeTech.com for more information. And now let's get into today's story. Anyone hit with the crypto-locking DoppelPaymer malware now faces the prospect of having their personal data dumped on a darknet site unless they pay a ransom. This, at least according to DoppelPaymer Gang, which told Bleeping Computer that it's been stealing data for the past year and occasionally selling it anonymously to help cover the gang's costs of their criminal enterprise. Bleeping Computer reports that DoppelPaymer Tor-based ransom payment portal where victims can remit bitcoins in returns for the promise of a working decryption tool now features this following statement that I'm about to read. Also, we have gathered all your private sensitive data. Some sensitive information stolen from the file server will be disclosed to public or sold to a reseller if you decide not to pay. It will harm your business reputation. The enhanced blackmail tactic, which is exactly what it is, comes on the heel of a number of other ransomware operators promising to employ the same exact tactics, with several of them actually following through on it. In November of last year, the Maze Gang leaked almost 700 megabytes of data that it stole from Allied Universal, a California-based security services firm. Subsequently, the attackers leaked even more information from additional victims, including the city of Pensacola, the manufacturer Southwire, an accounting firm, a medical testing lab, medical practices, and much more. Brett Callow, a threat analyst at Emisoft, said the group's modus operandi is to initially name the companies they've hit on their website, and if that doesn't convince the companies to pay, to publish a small amount of their data as proofs while trying to blackmail them. These are age-old blackmail schemes, according to Callow, and if organizations don't pay, then the remaining data is published, sometimes on a staggered basis. The group has also published in Russian hacker forums and other places as well. Maze's stated goal is simple. Once it gets paid, it will remove the victims' names from its website, not dump further data, and also promise to delete all of the data that it stole. Just a real, honest, well-working criminal enterprise here. And you know how what we say, one must trust criminals he deals with every single day. As practitioners, I think the time has come for us to stand up against this whole idea of paying ransom. And while we know that for some people that's easier said than done, it is on us to carry that through. And so with that being said, we urge people not to pay the ransomware, and we should really work with law enforcement to take down these websites and these various tools. And I, for one, at CyberHub Engage here, will no longer name the companies that are victims of ransomware through this blackmail scheme. So going forward, effective February 4th of this year, CyberHub Engage will no longer name victims of ransomware attacks who's being blackmailed to expose data. And we'll move on to our next story, where a California man who broke into Nintendo servers on 2 different occasions pleaded guilty last week to hacking charges and is awaiting sentencing. The man, named Ryan Hernandez, but also known as Ryan Rocks or Ryan West, built a reputation in 2016 after he leaked details about Nintendo's upcoming product, the Switch Gaming Console. Although being tracked down by authorities and given a second chance, Hernandez squandered this opportunity, is now almost certain going to prison. Hernandez hacking spree started in 2016, according to court documents, where Hernandez phished a Nintendo employee by posting a malicious link on the company's official forum, requesting help with the technical issues. U.S. authorities say the link redirected the Nintendo employee to an external website where the tech support worker was infected with malware. According to court document, the malware secretly scraped the employee's information and authentication token that Hernandez later used to access the Nintendo's internal network. Hernandez then used his newfound access to upload malware onto the Nintendo's developer site, which logged the tokens of legitimate users logging onto the site, and later to gain administrator access to the developer portal. Court documents say that at this point, Hernandez proceeded to download proprietary Nintendo data, including pre-release information about the upcoming Nintendo Switch. Hernandez then proceeded to leak the Switch information online ahead of the official launch, which took place several months later in March of 2017. At the time, Nintendo reported the security breach to the FBI, which tracked the hack back to Hernandez's home in Palmdale, California. FBI agents paid a visit to his parents and to Hernandez in October of 2017, but Hernandez was only 17 at the time, so the FBI gave him a pass as long as he promised not to do that again. And subsequently, Hernandez did not keep up with this and returned to hacking Nintendo again. And by June 2018, he was using vulnerabilities in Nintendo servers to gain access to the back-end systems, where he downloaded more confidential information, at which point he was arrested. And in 2019, he was arrested, and upon examination of his computer and his hard drive, they found also child pornography. So he does face he's been convicted of possession of child pornography and hacking, and could face up to 25 years in prison, although the plea agreement says that the prosecution will seek no more than 3 years for each crime. So he's probably looking around 6 years in jail. That's it for that specific story. Before we move on to our next story, like I said at the very beginning, we are in Dallas, Texas today, and tonight we're recording our live podcast. Tomorrow we have our CISO roundtable. So if you are a CISO or a cybersecurity practitioner here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, contact us now to secure your spot for our roundtable. And everyone is welcome to join us tonight. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite or at CyberHubEngage.com for the live podcast with myself, Mark Hopt, and Patrick Benoit, and other great people that will be in attendance for a great live podcast. And now we continue where the DoD, the United States Department of Defense, announced that defense contractors will now have to meet a basic level of cybersecurity standards when replying to a government acquisitions program request for proposals by 2026. The Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification Framework, CMMC version 1.0, was released last week on Friday, and it's a unified cybersecurity standard for future DoD acquisitions. Cyber requirements for some contractors will appear later this year, and by 2026, all new DoD contracts will come with the new CMC requirements. DoD's Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment, Ellen M. Lord, said. With the introduction of the CMMC, the DoD wants to enhance the protection of supply chain unclassified information, federal contract information, and uncontrolled unclassified information by increasing the defense industrial base subcontractors' cybersecurity readiness. The CMMC provides the DoD with a straightforward mechanism designed to make it easier to certify the cyber readiness of the large and small defense contractors, using 5 levels of certification that focus on both cybersecurity practices and processes. Meeting CMMC Level 1 requirements will confirm that the DIB contractor is qualified to safeguard FCI. Level 2, it can protect DoD CUI, and while Levels 4 and 5 shows that it can reduce risk of advanced persistent threats. Defense contractors will not be certified for CMCC by the DoD alone, as CMCC third-party assessment organizations, or C3 PAOs, will be designated by the department to conduct these assessments once everything is in place. Cybersecurity risks are threatening the national security of the U.S. government and that of the defense industry, and like we've said, we've reported on several occasions over the last few weeks where we've had some DoD snafus, as early as yesterday when we spoke of that Raytheon employee who took his laptop to China and has now been charged with leaking confidential information. And now for a final story of the day. Ukrainian police have arrested a 16-year-old from the beautiful city of Odessa last month for attempting to extort a local ISP into sharing data on one of its subscribers. Ukrainian authorities say that when the service provider declined, the teen used DDoS attacks to take down the ISP's networks. The attack took place last year, were severe enough that the ISP contacted law enforcement. Sorry about that. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Internal Affairs told officers from Ukraine's cyber police tracked down the teen to the city of Odessa, where they arrested the 16-year-old last month. And in the Ukraine, unlike here, when they don't just give you a pass. Ukraine cyber police say they searched the teen's home and seized his devices. Authorities said that during a preliminary review of the suspect's computer, they found software used to perform the DDoS attacks along with details for 20 accounts on various hacking forms. According to Ukraine's criminal code, the suspect faces up to 6 years in prison for launching the DDoS attack. He was not charged for the attempted extortion. Ukrainian officials declined to comment further on the case, such as whose data the attackers requested, citing that this is still an ongoing investigation. And that's it for your daily cyber briefing today, folks. We are in Dallas today, tomorrow, and Thursday, so make sure you come by our live podcast today in Dallas. We look forward to seeing all of our great CISO partners here for our roundtable tomorrow evening. We'll be back tomorrow with a live podcast directly from Dallas, Texas. Until then, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe and give us 5 stars. That helps us get our ranking up. And until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your day and stay cyber safe.